Welcome back to Talking Story. My name is John Minton. That is Jacob over there. And these right here are all the amazing people that make everything possible here. They keep the lights on, they keep the channel going, and a special shout out and thank you to each and every one of them. Can you believe it is May?
Well, it's been May for about 6 days now. So I think I've grappled with this reality.
You know what? I'm still I'm grappling. What a great word. I'm stuck.
Are you still stuck in April?
I'm stuck over the third level of fault. I just can't process. I can't wrap my mind around how fast this year is going.
It's going as fast as every other year has.
No,
it definitely is.
Listen to me. The older you get, the faster time goes by. It's going by so fast. And I don't know, I have so many books I want to read in 2024, and 2024 is not cooperating because it is going way, way too fast.
Maybe you're just not going to be able to read all the books you want. Maybe you're just going to have to grapple with that reality. You have to grapple with something entirely new.
Sir, I will not. You know what? Failure's not an option. Look at this. We've got a big stack of what we finished in April, and we're going to go over each and every one of them, and then, talk about grappling. Oh my God. I'm going to have to pick a read of the month, and it's like...
Well, I heard word from you. I heard a rumor.
Yeah.
That a whopping third of the books that you read this month are up for debate on whether or not they'll be read of the month.
It is kind of like a three-way tie, and I've yet to decide. I'm just going to have to, let's get into it. Let's get it. You know what? Peel the Band-Aid off. Rip it off. Rip it. Just rip it off.
I'm not putting in a sound effect for that.
Yeah, that'd be good.
No.
Can you do that? You don't have the technology for that?
I don't.
I give up. We started off the month with the Sun Eater Saga. We started off with Queen Amid Ashes by Christopher Rocchio. This is one of the novellas. This falls between Howling Dark and Demon in White. And I actually like this quite a bit. Every bit of the Sun Eater I have liked quite a bit. This was the first novella that I felt we really got a nice dose of Hadrian Marlowe. I think up to that, and I was kind of expecting that we were going to continue to get like some other side characters and some spend time with them, but we actually got this really picks up after Howling Dark. It follows Hadrian, and it gives us those moments of character that maybe, well, that's not true. He does fit them into one of the regular books. It's part of his magic, but there was a character moment in this where as Hadrian moves on this journey of his very, very long life, he is called to do some things. His destiny makes him rise to a point where the history is calling to him to do certain things, and there's something that he has to do in a moment, and it just struck me to my very core, because there are times as I get older and time goes faster and faster and faster.
I really don't think it does. I think it's the same.
That I start to look in the mirror and I start to see my own father. And it's a great comfort to me. And I didn't always think that was going to be the case, fathers and sons and all. But it has become a great comfort in me. And there's a moment here where he's called to do something and he has to do it. And he hears his father's voice coming from his mouth. And talk about fathers and sons and dicey relationships. Hadrian and his dad is definitely that. But he hears his father's voice. He understands part of that journey that he maybe didn't see as a child. In that definitely abusive relationship, but there's an appreciation even still, hearkening back to where he came from, and it was just such an amazing character moment. And it just strikes me what Christopher Rocchio is able to do with these sweeping ideas in the space opera, and then to bring it back to just a moment of humanity and the human element in and amongst all of the chaos that's going on. And I absolutely appreciated it. And it just struck me right here. It really got me.
Well, that's not the first time that's happened with Rocchio.
No. I'm telling you, he's a wizard. Guy's a wizard.
And isn't well, before you move on to the next one, just isn't he also? He's not that old.
No,
like he has a lot of perspective for a younger guy.
It's. I'm telling you, I don't know where this guy came from. He's some amazing. It's almost like he's a story machine. He understands what makes us us and the stories we tell about us to help us define us. And he's mining all of that in this story that strikes us in just the right way and makes us question things, and at the same time gives us comfort of who we are. It's going on so many different levels that I don't know. The kid's not right, man.
Well, I don't know about that.
Yeah, no, he's not right.
He seemed like a perfectly nice individual.
That shouldn't happen.
I mean,
where he is in his artist journey, he's way above the curve.
Well, yeah. We'll say that. I don't know if we'll say he's not right.
Well, most artists where he wouldn't be. That's not right. He wouldn't be there.
There we go. We found it.
So yeah.
Well, hold on before you move on. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Are you just seeing what you could make me do?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. Then we went on to J. Kristoff's. This is the second book in this series, Empire of the Damned, follow-up, Empire of the Vampire. Wow. This was everything I wanted in this follow-up. I could not wait to get to this read. I was looking forward so much because I enjoyed the first book so much. The story of Gabriel de Leon and moving through this disgustingly decadent gothic hellscape after the apocalypse, on this quest for the Holy Grail, in this land run by vampires. It takes every bit of vampire fiction when it's done right. I'm not talking about the ones that sparkle in the sunlight. I'm talking about the true immortal monsters, and it takes them and it puts them in a structure of the epic fantasy, and it's just alchemy when he puts those things together, and it's all wrapped around an amazing framing narrative as Gabriel de Leon relays his story to the scribe of one of these vampire houses after all of this has gone on. And it just gives us that moment in time, two different moments in time of this main character, and it just is magic. And this even opens up more. You get more of the world. You get part of where the shifters are coming from, so you get a little bit of kind of werewolfy action to go along with the vampire action. So you get a broader world. You get other vampire houses coming into it. You get other POVs. So you get some mysteries answered. At the end of this, you get some big mysteries answered. I cannot wait for book 3. I hope he's hard at work, and I hope it comes out soon, because it's that special moment where it's like, I can't wait for book 2. After you read book 1 and you set it down, I can't wait for book 2, man. That was just so good. And book 2 hits, and it hits in such an amazing package. Like, this would be a bestseller after how book 1 did without the type of package they put together for you. You would not have to just fill this book up with art, and I'm talking not just a few times, but just over and over again to have a nice bit of art in here. You would not have to make this package this appealing and fill it up for it to be a bestseller after book 1 did what it did. But still, they put such a lovely package together. It delivers on every level. I just had the most fun with it. Definitely in the running for book of the month.
Well, thin pages though.
It's got some thin pages. But I'm not gonna hold that against it, because it was what a wild ride. Absolutely love it. Up for book of the month.
That's your first 2 that you brought up.
No, the first one is an available.
Oh,
book of the month has to be a full length.
Yep, you're right.
Otherwise, Rockio could make me break some rules, but I'm sticking to that rule. Then, hey, I grabbed. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart to Josh, sent this to me, and I thought, after this gothic decadent world, I need like a nice little palate cleanser, something short, something quick, something action-packed. I think this is going to be exactly what I want. I Am Not a Serial Killer by Dan Wells, and it absolutely was all those things. I'm not going to say it's YA. It has a bit of a YA feel because the main protagonist is a young person, in the 15 range. 15-year-old range. And he is struggling. He's struggling. He understands he is a diagnosed sociopath. Understands this about himself. Understands that to him, the celebrities that he tracks and loves and likes to study are serial killers. He understands this pull. He understands this obsession he has, right? So he set himself up a list of rules that he's going to follow. He's not going to become too enamored with any one person. Maybe he doesn't want to get close friends because then he'd get too close to him. Then he might find himself following them to see what they're doing. And then it's a slippery slope down to stalking. So he has a group of rules that he's going to follow to keep himself from going down the slippery slope of being a serial killer. But what happens is in this little town that he's living with, and his family is running the mortuary there. So already, that slippery slope's getting even slippery because he gets to help out downstairs every now and again. But what starts coming into that mortuary is victims of a serial killer that is striking in his little town. So as he's pulled into this mystery and working through it with his psychologist and his mom working downstairs, and starting to understand he may be the only one that can solve this crime because how he understands how serial killers work, because he sees them as an obsession and celebrity and he's studied them to the nth degree. As he's pulled in more and more, some of these rules have to go by the wayside. He has to start breaking some of his rules. And then on top of this, as a nice little ribbon moving all the way through it, is this bit of supernatural element that I did not expect. I thought kind of just like a regular thriller. No, this has an amazing supernatural element that weaves through it and is just a lot of fun. And I absolutely had a great time with this. Thank you, Josh, for sending it to me. And he has sent me book 2. And where this ends up, I can't wait to see where my buddy John Cleaver ends up.
Is it up for Book of the Month?
It is not up for Book of the Month.
Well, you might as well hate it then.
No, it was I'm telling you, it's a fun read, and I can't wait to continue the series. Not up for Book of the Month.
Although I will say it is one that I actually consider picking up because it sounds like it's something I would really like.
I think you would dig it. I think a lot of people would dig it, and I think it needs to be getting a lot more love out there.
I would love to read it. I'll get through Mistborn in the next 2 years and maybe I'll pick it up.
Yeah. Well, that might be a little bit above you. It might be more than 2 years the way you're moving.
It could be 4.
Yeah, it could be. It very well could be 4. Speaking of the Human Storymatic 3000, the writer of Mistborn, I picked up the Bands of Mourning, which is book 3 of Mistborn Era 2, because we can't miss a month. We can't miss a month with our Cosmere catch-up because we have to be ready for Wind and Truth, because we will be at Dragonsteel Nexus this year to get our copies. That's where the Cosmere catch-up is ending up for us in Salt Lake City.
Will we be there?
Well, we're hitting refresh over and over again as soon as tomorrow comes around because we got to get those tickets.
And if we fail,
we're in a lot of trouble.
Then we're not going to be there.
if we fail, we're in a lot of trouble because we do have plane tickets in a hotel. We might be there. We might just be the 2 people outside the window looking in.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe trying to see like the back of Brandon's head or something through the window.
Maybe if we run fast enough, security won't notice us, and we can just get right in there.
They would definitely notice us.
Yeah, they might.
I'm pretty sure they would notice. Because we did kind of say we had plans to kidnap him.
Well, don't say it again.
Don't bring it out.
Good at this. Yeah, we have to hold on to that in our back pocket. They can't hear it from us over and over again, or they're gonna know. You got to clinch.
I got to clinch it. I'm going to clinch it. But hey, you know what? I really enjoyed the book 2 so much. It broadened the world. It was a swashbuckling gas lamp, steampunky action that I've come to expect from Era 2. It did not give me those huge character moments that book 2 did when it was examining destiny and identity and so many of the themes that really struck home with me. So I was kind of, even though this was what I was hoping for, which is the showdown with his uncle, Waxilium's uncle in the big showdown, it was exactly what I was hoping for. but it just wasn't giving me that character depth. It wasn't peeling back more layers of Wax and Wayne and the gang. So until the very end, the Sanderlanche basically revolved all around this character destiny and how you can come to terms with who you are, where you've been going, come to terms with what maybe your destiny, the universe, fill in the blank, has in store for you, and still keep a bit of autonomy about it, and a nice little bit of romance. No spoilers. Really? I can't say any more than that.
A nice little bit of romance.
Nice little bit.
Brandon Sanderson is no stranger to romance.
Oh, he's a romantic. He does like some romance, and at this, I got to tell you, it got me. It really did. It got me. By when it was all happening, I was ready for it.
I feel like the last time I remember you saying that a Brandon Sanderson romance really got to you was Warbreaker. That was kind of a while ago.
Yeah, that one worked for me well. But I think this one, absolutely, by the time it really hit, I gotta say, I was standing for it.
Is it up for Book of the Month?
It's not.
Well, I guess throw it in the trash then.
What? No. But I did end up really enjoying this. The Sanderlanche saved it for me. It gave me those huge sweeping character moments of peeling back the layers of Waxillium that I absolutely wanted, and answered a lot of character questions by the end that I thought, I'm just missing that. I should have trusted this human Storymatic 3000. I absolutely should have trusted. By the end, it was there.
I always trust in the Storymatic 3000.
Yeah, those are words to live by. Then, hey, picked up. This won the palate cleanser vote from all of you. What palate cleanser read could I slide in and fit in this month? And you said The Hexologist by Josiah Bancroft. And I really, really love this book. The world is phenomenal. The prose is phenomenal. The protagonist, you have a husband and wife but investigative team, and they're in this strange, steampunky, gas lampy, magical alchemy world. In the midst, they're pulled into this case amongst the royal family, and they don't necessarily want to work with it. And it's so much of a social mirror of our world because it's those that are in power holding down those that are that maybe the least of us, and how is that happening? And we're going through an industrial revolution, but who's really making out in this revolution? And the revolution is not based on oil. This is based on some other type of fuel that is otherworldly. And what are we doing to get it? And how much of our future are we leveraging to get it? And then by the end, there's this Deus Ex Machina moment where the God in the machine, the ghost in the machine, actually was just so vicious and visceral, and there's just something different that I had not seen in that way before, where the answers kind of were delivered in a celestial way and given to someone, but there was a price that was paid that I can't wait for the rest of the series to see how that price hits these main characters. Everything about this book I am a fan of. Again, prose, phenomenal. Characters, I really liked seeing a husband and wife team that was adult, that was loving, that was supportive, that had moments of separation to show their power as an individual, and then when they came back together, even more power and caring of when they were apart, from when they were apart. It was everything that I want in a loving adult relationship portrayed here in a fantasy setting that I don't necessarily see all that often, all the time. And just some great baddies. And again, that backdrop of the social mirror aspect of it. This absolutely is up for Book of the Month.
So that's two now. That's two that's up for Book of the Month.
Yeah. And this makes me absolutely want to get to the Sinlin of Sin series, because I think I could be a Josiah Bancroft fan. Like this This was a really great book. If you have not done this book yet, I highly recommend it. You can fit it in. It reads very, very fast. It's not crazy long. And it's a nice breath of fresh air. It is fantastical, but it's a different setting. It's a different type of magic. It's a different type of character dynamic than you're used to. And it just pays off. It really pays off. The mystery is intriguing, and you won't, I don't think, see all of the ending coming at you until it gets there.
Well, I will say that is another book recommended by the people that you really loved.
I don't think they've missed once.
No, they definitely haven't. I'm excited to see where these Patreon polls go.
Yeah, me too. I can't wait to spin that big wheel.
Yeah.
That's gonna be
spinning the wheel will be fun for a lot of reasons. We'll sit here for 30 minutes because you'll spin it way too hard.
Probably. I can guarantee that. After that, I picked up Dr. Philip Chase's book 2 in the Adan trilogy, Prophet of Adan. This follows up Way of Adan and comes right before Return of Adan. The entire trilogy is out. If you have not tried out this independently published fantasy trilogy, what are you waiting for? You're here at a channel like this. You like some fantasy. You probably have a long history of reading fantasy, so you probably like classic fantasy. What better place to get classic fantasy than Dr. Fantasy himself, the best of fantasy? He has distilled the best of fantasy, and he's put it all into this. I'm going to say it, the trilogy. I haven't read the third book yet, but I'm going to say he's hit it out of the park on all 3 books. The first book wowed me because not often do you see the farm boy to hero trope done in a way where it's such an internal, personal, spiritual journey that this young man goes on and has to leave behind what he believes the story of his life is going to be, go out into the broader world, see understand the broader world in this world of holy war that is coming, and how the powers that be are using story to pit one level against another and gin up this jingoistic holy war. He's in the midst of all that, meeting a found family, all these tropes that we know and love, but at the same time, there is this glowing spiritual ribbon that goes through the center of this book that makes you stop and question possibly your own beliefs, possibly what you think of as what's behind the curtain that the universe has in store for you. It was some of that mystery, and that's book one. That's book one. Now in book 2, I was shocked. I expected some more of that. I expected to pick up with Day Raven and get more of that. What I got was something that the pace is breakneck. It starts from page 1, paragraph 1 of this world torn asunder by this holy war, and you start to see these zealots that are at the forefront of these 2 sides, trying to, in their own ego, drive this movement. Of course, the hubris, there's going to be a price for that. And you just have this found family being put through the ringer after you see scene after scene after scene of this world at war as it becomes torn asunder. And the pace is unrelenting. And the cost that this war is bringing to this world and character is unrelenting. And it's almost like it was a different author. All of that beautiful character inner journey of the first book is put aside a bit in this, so you can just focus on the price that the world is going through. And then bang, there is this epiphany at the end. That spiritual journey comes back where Day Raven has to kind of like shades of Odin sit at the base of a lovely tree, and through a bit of transcendental meditation and opening up what lies behind that curtain of the universe, the mysteries of the universe, he has to let go of self to the point where he can accept the mystery and see all the way through it to be able to understand and come back and achieve his destiny. There is that a moment of epiphany of spiritual journey that powers the entire ending of this. And how does he get away from the sophomore slump of book 2 in a trilogy? It's like you crammed 2 books in one almost. I was suspecting this war would play out over the last 2 books. The war started in book 1. We have an escalation in book 2. And in book 3, we have that war, the culmination. No, So much plays out right here. You get so much resolution and so much plays out right here. And at the same time, the prices paid on characters set up another, what I'm thinking, he's going to marry this pace, this breakneck pace, and the personal journey in book 3. And he's gonna bring these two tool sets that he has now displayed in books 1 and 2 together and just completely blow me out of my chair. But I cannot stress enough, if you like fantasy, if you like classical fantasy, this is a trilogy for you. You should pick this up. He's got a prose style that will hearken you back to some of the best classical fantasy you've read, and at the same time, not get in the way by making it easily digestible and compulsively readable. I cannot say how much I am impressed with Dr. Chase's work. It should be a bestseller and on every bookstore shelf. And I'm telling you, this indie movement, my eyes have truly been opened. I think this has a chance to be a pretty special trilogy for me. We'll see how he sticks the landing. But this, I got to put it up for book of the month as well.
So that's 3 out of 3.
That's
3 out of 3 for book of the month.
That is the 3-way tie. That's the 3-way tie right there.
I mean, to count on Dr. Chase for a good pick.
Wow. And it was a surprise. I did not see book 2 going that way, like at all.
Oh, I thought you meant it was a surprise that you liked it so much. I didn't think that would be a surprise at all.
After book 1, I fully expected, like, I'm going to be all in on this trilogy. This is, for my kind of my own way I like to look at spirituality in the universe. I mean, I think this is, I'm going to be all in on this. But I was surprised by where book 2 went and how it moved, and the unrelenting viciousness of it. He surprised me. He surprised me with like a totally different tool set. So hats off, fair play to him for that. And then I went back to talk about classic fantasy, The Belgariad by David Eddings. This whole series, all 5 books, were sent to me by the amazing Heidi and Luke, and they sent me such a lovely package. Special thanks to their entire family. And I did the first book last month, second book this month, and this continues just to be a time machine for me. This is that amazing gateway fantasy that if it caught you at just the right moment in your life, you would be a fantasy fan for the rest of your life. It is that kind of magic. And in book 2, I'm just completely smitten by that found family, that banter, that fun, that traveling together. There's so many moments of levity when one member of the party is going after the other. And it's such a great time and enormously topical because you've got the power brokers of this world, rulers, administrations, things like that are actively pitting beliefs and people one against the other. If they can get a little bit under your skin of what you believe and kind of supercharge that and send you on your way, it's almost as if they're being manipulated and used by the power brokers and the people that be, again, getting caught up in this holy war. And you see that in today's world sometimes by, power brokers, administrations, campaigns, media, maybe just playing on you, manipulating on you a little bit, making you think that, hey, there's that dividing line. There's us and there's them, and there's that line between us. And if you really, really examine it, that line is the thinnest, and not really even existence. And that line just becomes drawn deeper and deeper and deeper sometimes. And that's what's happening in this book. And I just found it, it really echoed with me, and it was very topical. And I was not expecting that from this. So it was, again, this one surprised me. And at the same time, put me in that same time machine and took me back to when I was a boy. This is a flashlight read. That's what it is.
What is a flashlight read? What does that mean?
This is a flashlight read. It just hit me. This is one of those reads.
Saying it a second time doesn't help at all.
I'm going to tell you, and you're going to go, oh, yeah, you're right. When I was a young kid, and I was supposed to be in bed, asleep, getting ready for the next day, and I'm under the covers with a flashlight because I just got to get to the end of the chapter before I can let it go. This is one of those flashlight reads from when I was a kid, and from the bottom of my heart, I thank Heidi and Lukey and everyone for sending that to me. And then I just had a little bit of time left in the month. Just a little bit of time. And I've been stacking up some Daredevil comics. This is a new run of Daredevil. Let's see. See if I can get the writer's name. Saladin Ahmed is the writer. And I got the first 7 issues here. And I just whipped all the way through all 7. And I got to tell you, I went in thinking, yeah, you know, if this doesn't hit me, if I'm not loving this, you all right over there?
Yeah. Sorry.
I'll just go ahead and take this off my pull list. But this is not one of the great runs. I'm not saying it's up there with Frank Miller. I'm not saying it's up there with Guardian Devil with Kevin Smith or any of those great runs. But it's a heck of a lot of fun. I did have a good time with this, and I do kind of like the fact that he's after this run of making Matt Murdock a little bit on the supernatural side. I do like kind of getting him back to more of that gritty Hell's Kitchen vigilante that I think they're going for. And it's a great check-in with some of the other denizens of the Marvel Universe like Wolverine or Doctor Strange or She-Hulk. So I couldn't take it off my pull list. I'm going to keep going. I got to keep buying Daredevil comics.
How many more are there? I think there's 2 more.
I think someone let me know there's 8 is out, 9 is out really quickly, and then I think I think it's selling well enough to where they're gonna just gonna let it be an ongoing series.
All right.
So cool. I mean, to me, this is a great problem to have. It may not be one of the great runs, but it is a fun enough and good enough run that I have to keep buying Daredevil comics. That's a great problem to have because the Man Without Fear is my guy. I love me some Matt Murdock. I think he may be my favorite Marvel character. I'm pretty sure he is. So.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, Batman's your all-time favorite, right?
That's all time.
Oh, okay then. Yeah, I got you.
But for Marvel, I'm gonna go Matt Murdock. So here's my quandary. Here's my problem. I've got, for the month of April, a 3-way tie. And I've got to choose one of these, and I'm going to say they're all bangers. They're all knock it out of the park for me, somewhere between a 4 and a 5. I'm not going to say they're all 5 stars, but all of them are between a 4 and a 5.
I mean, do you just want to close your eyes and I'll mix up their position and you can point at one?
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to choose one. I'm going to choose Empire the Vampire.
I mean, well, that might be a popular opinion. I think everyone really loved Empire the Damned.
I said Empire the Damned. I'm choosing Empire the Damned, not Empire the Vampire. That's book 1.
We know what you meant.
Yeah. Let's face facts. I love me vampires. That's my soft spot. I absolutely, for me, just as a conceit, as a monster, as a character, I just think they operate in a way that few other monsters do. I think horror is so amazingly good at the dramatic effect of life lived in a compressed amount of time and on a higher level, and there's no higher level than flight or fights. So when you get a great monster like this and in a great world like this, it just in the framing narrative, I just adore this. It's almost like he's just putting this out for me, and that's weird because everyone, a lot of people love it. So I guess there's a lot of people like me. But I look, Jay Kristoff, for me, brought in exactly what I was hoping he would bring in and what I wanted, and I got to pick it.
I mean, Jay Kristoff is pretty well loved now.
Yeah, he should be.
Well, there you go.
He should be. What was your favorite book of the month? What was your read of the month? What hit it out of the park for you? Hit me up in comments and let me know. I absolutely love comments. That's why we started this whole channel, so I could have some people to talk books with that love the kind of books I love and love books as much as I do. Let me know how your month was and what that favorite book was for you. Let me know what you think of my choice. While you're down there, hey, there's that little thumbs up button. Click that as well. That helps everyone find us. It helps more people get to the channel. And if you haven't done it yet, and you've been here a time or two, maybe this is your first time, you just wanted to see what we got up to this month, and you're brand new here, hit that subscribe button. It takes no time at all. It's like, boop, you do it, and it's done, and, it feels good.
I mean, if you say so.
Good when you hit that subscribe button.
You're getting a little into it.
Oh, it feels good.
I wish I did.
Give it a try.
I don't want to
give it a try. And if you would have any interest at all in helping us build this channel, make decisions for this channel, keep the lights on for this channel, all the way up to getting your content on this channel, right down there in the description box, check out the Patreon page, because that tells you all about how to do those things and be a part on that level. So if you're interested in that, that's there for you. And I think that is it for our month. That is, I'm going to say, as far as reading goes, that was a good month.
It's a lot of pages, man.
That was a successful, that was, I mean, when you have to pick a favorite book and there's like 3, like jockeying for position like that, I mean, guys, this booktube thing is for real. Once I started listening to what you guys are telling me to read, my life is good. It is great. And I cannot thank you enough. And if you have hung out with us this long to just see what we read through the month of April, you're book people. And if you are book people in my book, that makes you the best people. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for hanging out with us. My name is John Minton, and that is
David Eddings.
No. Oh God, no! You don't want to be David Eddings.
Oh, yeah, no, you're right. I do not want to be that. I'll be Jay Kristoff instead.
All right, I'll go with that.
We'll do that.
You could cuss like a sailor.
I'll happily be Jay Kristoff.
I'd be very impressed with your profanity if you're Jay Kristoff. So you go with that. But this has been Talking Story.